Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mohsen-Zia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People, based upon a real-life relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamohsenzia.com and www.amazon.com/Mia
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mian Moshe-Zia of No Time for Love, called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon. Other retailers available on all formats today. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com and over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, along with Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. And also heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. Well, here are the terrific singer-songwriter, very multi-talented from Los Angeles, now in Nashville, who happens to be the winner of the LA Academia Award with a great song called Turn It Up, and she also wrote a theme song for Dodge Ram trucks and has gotten some really good recognition out of it, and she's also got some some other material, While I Still Got Time, Good Time, Lazy River, and more. And she's also got an album out called Evolution. We'll be playing a couple of her songs, including the newest in just a minute. Just a very talented lady, and live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios, somewhere in Music City, the very multi-talented singer-songwriter and upcoming country music superstar, Hannah Anders. Hannah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thank you so much. What a wonderful introduction. Thank you.
Well, any time. I mean, it's great to have you on board as well, too, especially courtesy through Spectra Records as well. And you're from Los Angeles, and you're also winner of the LA Academy Award with Turn It Up. You're currently in Nashville. You wrote the theme song for Dodge Ram trucks, and I'm ready to get one after this interview. So, I mean, that's what I'm thinking about is a Dodge Ram. It's like, I got to get this out of my head and get this first. And as soon as you get a Ram truck when we're playing music, you also got While I Still Got Time, Good Time, Lazy River. You have an album all called Evolution. You also got a couple of singles out. We'll talk about Break Us, Southern Free, and more. And before we get into all that, tell us how you first got started, Hannah.
Yeah, so actually I grew up in Georgia. That's my home. I lived in Los Angeles for almost 10 years. So a lot of times that feels like where I'm from. But I grew up in Georgia. I grew up literally in the middle of nowhere. So we had horses and land, and I think my closest neighbor was like 5 miles away. So, really sort of that lifestyle, which is something we kind of nod to in Southern Free a little bit. That lifestyle of being outside and running around barefoot in the grass and sort of honoring and embracing the simple parts of life is really, I grew up that way. And so when I started to write music, it just naturally came out country. I didn't sit down to sort of, like engineer that and think, I'm going to write country music. I always sung. I sung from the time I was a little girl. My parents always really embraced and encouraged it. And so when I got to a place as a teenager, I thought I'm going to write my own songs. They just came out country. I thought, well, I guess I'm going to move to Nashville. So that was, and I was here for a while. I lived in Los Angeles. As we mentioned, I did move there for quite a few years. It was a great experience. I put my band together there, and we've all relocated back to Nashville, so that's where we are now. But yeah, I kind of grew up not only influenced by country, sort of living in the South, but sort of influenced by the lifestyle that we talk and write about. Really, as especially living in LA, really missing it because that's a completely different life there, so yeah, that's how I got my start.
Mm-hmm. And what are the thoughts of people in Los Angeles with you walking around barefoot through a downtown LA?
Yeah, you don't do that so much. No.
Wait, this ain't Georgia. Wait a minute, where am I going?
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is go down Hollywood Boulevard barefoot. That's how you end up in the hospital, Yeah, you to make some adjustments.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know some places that culture shock and everything, but it's really good you got out there as well. Georgia's a beautiful place, Los Angeles and everything else. And what was that one precise moment that influenced you into what you're doing today?
Oh, my gosh. I definitely thrive on performing and being on stage. That is where I'm absolutely my happiest. And I kind of came into the world. I mean, my parents, if you were to interview them, they'd say she sung before she spoke, and it was irritating, and we couldn't get her to shut up. And she's constantly running around the house singing. So, I think sometimes you're just born and your soul just comes in with a destiny. But I recall being in the 5th grade and winning the school talent show. And the prize for the winner was that we got to perform at the Forsyth County Fair. And so that was my first experience at 10 years old, getting on a stage in front of, at a fair and singing in front of my community. And it was in that moment that it's a high. And even at 10 years old, I was like, this is for me. This is what I'm on this earth to do, and that was it. I mean, I just been one track mind since 10 years old,
Wow, that is amazing, especially for a one-track mind. That's very impressive. And and of course, besides having that country influence, who are some of your favorite singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up?
I was lucky in that I got really exposed to a lot of different kinds of music, and from international music to rock to country, of course. I mean, I grew up on Reba and Faith and Trisha, the women of country music. So that obviously was a massive influence in my life as I got older, really got into Leonard Skinner and AC/DC and a lot of the great classic rock bands. And that definitely took up some real estate in my influences as well. And as a band, we're pretty rock influenced as a country band. And in fact, when we've been booked on things, we've actually been booked on rock festivals, which always kind of makes me laugh a little because I think, wow, that's okay. Well, we're definitely going to be the oddballs out, but we'll show up. Like, we ain't scared. We'll stand up there with all the rock and rollers,
There, I was going to say, there you go, but keep on going here. So
Yeah. So that's I grew up really like it. And as you grow up and you get more exposed and you get more influences in your life, you evolve and grow as an artist. The first concert I ever saw, if this gives you an idea, I was tiny. I was like 8 years old. I'm going to date myself now, was Paula Abdul. I loved her. And I think that, and my dad surprised me in Atlanta and took me to see her in concert. And that was really the first like arena show that I ever saw. And she was dancing up there with the holographic cat, if anybody in my age group remembers that. And I think that contributed to that sort of bug, that performing bug, was like, oh yes, I want to do what Paula Abdul does, So
and doing it straight up as well too. So
yes, exactly. Thank you. Thanks for not leaving me out on a limb.
There you go. Yeah. And you also managed to tour the UK and Ireland as well too. And what was your favorite destination? Tell us about what's it like going on the other side of the pond.
Oh my gosh, I love it over there so much. First of all, you can't even talk about going over there without paying homage to the people of the United Kingdom and Ireland, because they have got to be some of the most welcoming, open arms, want you to do well, excited for you people you'll ever play a show to. It's like, you're not walking into a hostile environment in any way. They are such fans of country music. They love American country music, and you walk into every show feeling like they want you to be good. They want you to do well. And so the friends and the fan base that we've built over there is just makes that place feel like a second home. There's no question. As far as destinations over there go, Edinburgh, Scotland holds a really special place in my heart because it was a great place to hang out. We got to be there for a solid week, which is unusual. When you're on tour, you're usually moving so much that to be somewhere for that long, you get to really pick a favorite coffee shop. Then you get to walk around.
Oh my!
You don't just see it from a window, and that's where actually Edinburgh, Scotland's where J.K. Rowling got the inspiration for Harry Potter to write what that whole world looked like. So if you can imagine that, that's what Edinburgh, Scotland looks like. So it's just got this just magical, very old, very just cozy kind of vibe, and Ireland as a whole country, I couldn't possibly pick a favorite spot. It's just beautiful from the second you land until you leave.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the luck of the Irish as well too. And I go there for a 7-course meal, which is a potato and a 6-pack.
There you go. Don't forget your Guinness.
That's right. Oh, that is a requirement. That's like a dessert.
That's right. Don't forget your Guinness. You got to do it. Yeah, potatoes. Gosh, they do love their potatoes, don't they?
Something. I was watching, Feed Me Phil on Netflix, or was it Feed 'em Phil or whatever it was, and he travels all over sampling food, and he was in Ireland, and he couldn't get enough of those potatoes and 6-pack, just all kinds of making potato bread, potato this, potato that, just make me so think of it. Oh my gosh, I'm ready for some potatoes and get into a Dodge Ram and just cranking up with you. So
drink some Jameson and have a Guinness and call it a day.
Oh, go. There you go. There you go. And we'll talk about turning it up and a great job doing so and having a good time while I still got time and a lot more and being on a lazy river. But first of all, we're listening to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mia Motion Zia of No Time for Love called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon or the retailers, available on all formats today. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com and over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, along with Amazon, Audible, and Apple. And coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here, singer, songwriter, super multi-talented Hannah Anders, who grew up in Georgia, went to Los Angeles, and now in Nashville here on The Mike Wagner Show. And we'll be talking about her new album, Evolution, featuring her newest, Break Free, along with 7-3. But first, you got some great experience under your belt where you were the winner of the LA Academy Award with Turn It Up, and you also wrote the theme song for Dodge Ram trucks. And tell us more about those.
Yeah, so the Academia Award I won was for Best Country Rock Song for Turn It Up, which has just, I think, become the anthem of the Hannah Anders Band, and just one of those songs that I think, you know, your greatest joy as a band is to have a song that you've sung so much you hope you never hear it again, and then have to keep singing it, because that means you've done something right. You've created something people want to hear, and Turn It Up is just it sort of crosses cultural boundaries and language barriers. And you know, we did a show in London at a theater, and it's the British in general as audiences tend to be reserved, which probably doesn't come as a surprise to a lot of people. They're a wonderful audience. They tend to be a reserved audience. And so, you know, we went into this sort of 2-story old round Shakespearean theater in London. And the first tour out was just me and my lead guitar player, because when you're going into a foreign country and trying to sort of get your feet wet, you're like, all right, we need to just hold it down and see what we're walking into. So it's the 2 of us alone. And we go into this theater, and I look up and all the floors are full, and we decided we're going to do Turn It Up. And then we're talking acoustic. Okay. I didn't even have the full band. And by the end of it, we had everybody in a standing ovation screaming Turn It Up back at us. It live streamed, and my mom's and my jaw was just on the floor looking. I couldn't believe that even acoustically that song had translated in a way that, like, and the host came up to me after, and he said, "You don't understand that the British don't stand." You know, like, you know, that they got up and they were screaming. And so I just, it's a really special song for us as a band. We wrote it as a band. And so, yeah, when it took that award for Best Country Rock Song, there's very few times in your life you ever expect anything as an artist, because very often, you know, the road is filled with no's and rejection, and you get really thick skin. But I will say, when it took that award, there was a little part of my soul that was like, yeah, I kind of hoped it would, you know, because I've seen the effect it has. So that was a cool moment. Yeah. Go ahead here. So that's Turn It Up. That's the story.
Wow. Well, you certainly turned it up on that one, and you also wrote the theme song for Dodge Ram trucks. Now, did Dodge come to you about this, and how did that come about?
Gosh, okay, so that was a couple of years ago, and Dodge Ram, okay, so it was a very funny story, but somehow I couldn't tell you how the contact for this commercial found me, except that the long story short is that I got contacted by a liaison between Comcast and Dodge Ram, who had somehow heard about me, and Dodge Ram was doing a Nashville sweepstakes giveaway for CMA Fest, I believe.
Oh, wow.
And they said, we need a theme song for this Dodge Ram commercial that's going to air. excuse me. And I don't have COVID.
I trust you. We're definitely more than 6 feet, so I definitely trust you.
You're like, look, cough away. And so they contacted me and said we need a theme song for this Dodge Ram sweepstakes, and for the winner's going to go to Nashville, and so okay, so we did, and I think that it specifically aired in the southeast, and the liaison contact was from Georgia, so it was probably like a hometown kind of connection. She realized I was from there and probably felt like she wanted to support, local talent. And I was living in Los Angeles at the time, but got together with my producer and my lead guitar player and wrote a song for Dodge Ram. It was fun. It was really fun. It's one of the more fun assignments I've ever been given,
It sounded like a lot of fun. Now, did you get to drive a Dodge Ram, or did he have you give you a Dodge Ram, or did you get to drive one after all? So
you know what, I gotta tell you, I would have absolutely given up pay for that to get a Dodge Ram.
Really? Oh my God.
I would have. If they had said to me, either we're going to pay you or you can have a Dodge Ram, I would have been like, a Dodge Ram. But they paid me instead, which was much appreciated. But I would have taken a truck for that job. That would have been awesome.
Heck, why not? Play your music, have a little bit of potato, some Jameson, and simply turn it up. I think that would have been great. So
I agree. Just turn it up in my Dodge Ram.
There you go. Yes. And of course, you also got some other music, While I Still Got Time, Good Time, Lazy River. And tell us about those fantastic songs. I mean, we're in a rhythm here today. So
well, thank you. Yeah. So Lazy River, I actually wrote. That was a single that I released a couple of summers ago. And as I said, I grew up in Georgia. We used to go in the summers up to North Georgia. My Georgia people here will know. In Helen, Georgia, you can actually get in a tube and float down the river right there. And in the summer, it's just a sea of blue and yellow inner tubes going down the river. So that was a really fond memory of growing up. And we were writing for this album, and it was January in Nashville, and it was freezing. Ooh. And my producer's like, let's write the summer song. I was like, are you kidding me? Right? I can't even get into that headspace. It's like 5 degrees outside. And, and so I was like, okay, let me think of summer. What do I think of when I think of summer? And the first thing was a lazy river, which just that memory of that floating and sort of not a care in the world, And so, and then actually there's an artist here in town named Smo, Big Smo, and he heard it, and we did a remix of it together the next year and released the remix for Lazy River. So that kind of grew some legs too, which was fun.
It definitely sounds like fun. I'm ready to jump in right now and talk about a good time and talk about While I Still Got Time.
Yeah, While I Still Got Time, this is one of those. I actually toured a radio tour in the UK last fall, right before we all shut down for While I Still Got Time. It's probably my most personal release that I've ever done, in that it was kind of my homage to what it's been like to go through this industry. And it's, it's not for pursuing any dream is not for the faint of heart. I don't care what your dream is. If you've got a dream and you're going after it, the road is long and winding, and the entertainment industry just sort of has unfortunately a dark side to it. And it tends to be darker than many. And so I just decided to sit down and speak on it, and not in a way that I was a victim, but just in a way that, like, look, things happen and it's been hard. But while you're on this planet and while you're here, you've got to pick yourself up and go. And so that was sort of the inspiration behind While I Still Got Time, which is actually getting re-released onto the Evolution album, which I'm excited about because that was definitely a favorite. We shot a music video that'll be out soon, and I it's one of those that when we toured it last fall and we were on the radio tour for that, and people would come up to me after we'd perform and say, "Gosh, I know you wrote that about the music business, but this reminds me of like this experience in my life." And that's what you hope for as a songwriter, is that your song transcends what you wrote about, and you hope you do it in a way that other people can grab it and make it their own. It doesn't belong to you once you've released it out. And
that's very true too. And where can we find your music at?
Yeah, so everywhere that you download and stream, so Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, Tidal, Google Music, Google Play, whatever, all the things, it will be there. And Evolution is up for pre-order and pre-save right now. You get 3 instant Grat tracks right away as a thank you when you pre-order. It'll go live January 22nd. Full-length album, lots of good music on there, I think.
And we're certainly looking forward to it with the Dodge Ram and more. We'll talk about more about Evolution along with the singles Break Free and Break Us and Southern Free in just a minute. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. It's powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mia Motion Zia of No Time for Love called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between 2 ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon. Other retailers available on all formats today. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com and over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Also coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here, singer, songwriter, very multi-talented Hannah Anders, from Georgia to LA to Nashville here on the Mike Wagner Show. And right now, here's a track from her brand new release, Evolution, called Break Us, right here with Hannah Anders on the Mike Wagner Show.
Maybe 5th grade, but what do you say we just make a little pinky promise to rise above all the problems this world throws our way? 'Cause baby, this girl stays. Cut and run ain't in my blood, and you're cut from the cloth I love. Everybody breaks up, makes up, breaks back up again. On to the next one, same song, different damn dance partner. Maybe we just love smarter, we're made harder. Either way, we ain't leaving the other side. Old school love like this comes from another time when it meant if you say the words then it sticks. And I know what we're made of, so let them try to break us and watch us survive. They ain't gonna break us, baby. We a major breakup, baby. They ain't gonna break us, can't break us, 'cause they made us to survive. And our love's strong like shine, that homemade backwoods kind. Roots sturdy like an oak tree, patient like a field waiting on spring. Everybody breaks up, makes up, breaks back up again. On to the next one, same song, different damn dance partner. Maybe we just love smarter, we're made harder. Either way, we ain't leaving the other side. Old school love like this comes from another time when it meant if you say the words then it sticks. And I know what we're made of, so let them try to break us and watch us survive. They ain't gonna break us, baby. We a major breakup, baby. They ain't gonna break us, can't break us, 'cause they made us to survive. They ain't gonna break us, baby. We a major breakup, baby. They ain't gonna break us, can't break us, 'cause they made us to survive.
Great song by Hannah Anders with Break Us from the Evolution release on the Mike Wagner Show. You did a great job on that song, Hannah, and tell us more about the song Break Us and what inspired you to write it.
Okay, so Break Us got written right before we locked down into quarantine this year. I just got engaged last November.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. And right as we got engaged, two sets of extremely close friends, well, one couple that was a friend, and then my cousin, both filed for divorce.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was tough. It's couples that you thought, oh my God, there's no way, like they'll stand the test of time, right? And so it was a funny thing because here we were kind of in this really exciting time, and you're watching your friends go through a hard time, and so you don't want to be overly gloaty about the fact that you're planning a wedding and they're heartbroken. So I wanted to channel some of that feeling into this song, and so I really wanted to sort of nod to the strength of our relationship, and something I'm very proud of in my life. My now fiance and I have been together for 14 years.
Woo! 14 years, amazing!
Yes, I know. Thank you. We waited a really long time to get engaged. When we met, I was super young, and so, I really wanted to wait to get married. Everyone always gives him a hard time. You're like, God, I can't believe you waited so long. He's like, it's not me, it's Hannah. Hannah pumps the brakes on me, So he proposed to me actually on that radio tour last year. He went with me and proposed to me in England on that tour. And so I just wanted to really just kind of honor that relationship, and anybody that's in a relationship knows if you make it any length of time, it's a lot of hard work and compromise and sacrifice, and so I just kind of wanted to speak to the positive side of doing that hard work, and what can come as a result of that. And so Break Us was born.
Mm-hmm. And that's a fantastic song as well, too. We'll talk about Southern Free. We'll play that at the end of the show on the Mike Wagner Show. Tell us more about Southern Free.
Southern Free. Okay, this is a Hannah Anders band favorite, and it's a favorite one to perform. I'm saying that about everything, but I guess it's because we don't release stuff we don't like. So you can trust that we back our brand. Southern Free was actually written by me and my lead guitar player, Bruce Lawrence, in Los Angeles. He's from Arkansas. I'm from Georgia, as I said earlier. And, we were sitting in LA and we're missing home, and we've nodded to, it's a different life. And Los Angeles is wonderful. And I loved living there. I definitely was ready to come back to the South, but I really loved my time there. But there were some hard moments and some really big adjustments and culture shocks that you go through. And so Bruce and I decided to kind of make a really fun song where we highlighted the stereotypes of LA and highlighted the stereotypes about the South and how and make them sort of a funny kind of fun, but also really like a love song and anthem to the South and what it's like to be Southern free, to walk around barefoot without getting worried you're going to step on a needle, on Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah, that can happen, guys. Be careful. Living a life where you're not in the pretense that exists in some other places in the world, and that being Southern free was really a state of mind. You didn't have to live here, that you could just embrace what that was like to get a breath and some fresh air and a beer with your friends, and not stand in line to get into a club that everyone's just there to be seen, and kind of writing about getting yourself out of that mentality. And so the concept of being Southern free is really for anybody, but it was written out of being homesick, essentially, for home, for this part of the country, and wanting to talk about that.
That is amazing. Great song, Southern Free. We'll be playing that at the end of the show. And also, we'll talk about your album for a little bit, Evolution. That'll be coming out soon, as you mentioned. And tell us more all about Evolution.
All right, Evolution. Okay, I'm so excited about this album because it's an interesting story. When I was signed to Spectra Music Group, which is my label that I've got now, and I had all these different material and EPs and songs and different things that I'd put together, and Spectra sat down and we went through everything, and they said, gosh, you've got all these great songs on these different projects, and what we'd love to do is put everything together into one one cohesive album and release that as your label release. And Break Us it was written new this year, so that got added as well. And so my producer and I and my lead guitar player and MD went into all of the material, and we sat down and we reworked and created, and I cut new vocals on stuff that was a little bit older, and refreshed some of the newer stuff, and basically put together what we sort of felt was like a best of the Hannah Anders band. And that's why we titled the album Evolution, because it felt like an evolution of everything we've ever done up to this point into one project of what we feel like up to now is our best work, and hopefully not by far the last thing or the best thing we'll do. You always hope to keep evolving, right, as artists, but this is the evolution of who we are as of 2020. So it's an exciting project, and it's got some of my favorites, and Turn It Up is on there. It made the cut, which again was one of the first songs we wrote as a band. Technically it's an old release, but it's going to be new to a lot of people. So I'm excited that that's going to get another life as well. And Evolution will be out in January.
Sounds great. And where can we find Evolution and all your songs, including Break Us, Southern Free, and more? Where can we find them again at?
Yep, Evolution is available right now for pre-sale on iTunes. And so if you are an Apple user, you can go there and pre-order it, and you will immediately get 3 songs. You'll immediately get Southern Free, Like a Lady, and Outside Looking In, which are 3 that we chose, that you'll get right away, and then everything else will go live on January 22nd. If you're not an Apple user, you can pre-save on Spotify or Amazon or Tidal or Google, and then Break Us also available in the same places, or you can go to my website, hannahanders.com, and there's links to all of the music there as well.
That is fantastic. We're here with singer-songwriter, multi-talented Hannah Anders here on the Mike Wagner Show. Hannah, just a few more moments here. We thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. And what else can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Hannah?
Oh, my gosh. Mike, I think like all of us, we're so ready to get back to touring and being on the road. And, we had so many plans for 2020. If 2020 taught us anything, it's don't be too attached to your plans, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and we had so many plans for this year. So, first of all, my greatest hope is that, I want everybody to just stay healthy and come out of this disaster that we've been in this year. And there's some good news, obviously, looking like that's going to happen. So my greatest hope would be that we can, by next summer, be back out on the road, promoting Evolution, touring the album, planning our next trip out to the UK and Ireland, which we were going to do in May. And, of course, that was not able to happen. So, my greatest hope is that we'll be able to all go back to what we love to do, and back to being around people and hugging people and doing meet and greets and all the things that we miss so much. And the new music, hopefully. I mean, I'm excited to tour this album, but I'm always creating in my mind, and I've got some ideas of where the direction might go next. And so I can't wait to share that with everybody. And
we're so looking forward as well, too. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career, Hannah?
Oh, my gosh. That question is always so hard. It's so many, 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 many people that influence your career. I'm gonna give an answer that might be surprising, because obviously there's a bajillion and one artists that influence you. But I'm going to tell you that it's my grandmother. And I'm going to say that for a few reasons. One, my grandmother has a beautiful, beautiful singing voice. My grandfather fell in love with her watching her sing in the church choir.
Oh, wow.
And yes, many moons ago. And my grandma was my first piano teacher. She sung with us all the time. All my cousins are extremely musical. I'm actually the least talented one. I'm just the only one that likes to do it in front of people. Like everybody else just kind of plays music for themselves. I'm the only one that has the performing bug. But she really rallied us as kids to sing and take piano lessons and learn the guitar and, use your voice. And I will tell you, my grandmother turned 87 this year. And that woman knows absolutely everything going on in my career at all times. I mean, she's the most Facebook proficient grandmother you've ever met in your life. And every time I do a live, she's on there commenting. And she has helped me early in my career when I just had nothing. I mean, she'd help me fund albums and photo shoots, and she'd send me money so I could go on tours. And obviously my parents and everybody, I'm very fortunate that way. But my grandmother is kind of the matriarch of my family, instilled in me really young a work ethic around music and a discipline around it that was beyond accolades and performing and people clapping for you, but really about the discipline and the hard work of understanding music. And, she's that grandmother that you'd get a flick in the back at the piano if you were slouching. It was like, no, we're here to learn, and just instilled that really young, and also found a way to make it fun and a part of our everyday life with her was music. So I'm gonna give that one to my grandmother.
And and everyone, for those listening, don't forget to send Grandma a friend request. She'd love to hear from you.
Yes, she would. Yeah, if you even say, "Oh, we heard Hannah on the radio," forget it. She'll talk your ear off forever. So be careful.
And of course, Facebook Live helps as well too. Instagram, Twitter, and everything.
Yes, it does.
And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Like people that are starting out?
Just best advice in general, or music, or anything, whatever you like.
I would say that. I got two pieces of advice. One is 2020 advice. One is to people that are sort of pursuing, I really think the lesson in this year is to sort of bloom where you're planted. We've all been sort of put in our place and told to stay and had to really make adjustments to our plans. And I think that if there's anything that we can take from this, it's to be inventive and creative. And I have a quote in my office that says, be stubborn about your goals and flexible about your methods. And I think that this year has really taught us that, to just constantly allow yourself to evolve and be so confident in what you're here on this earth to do that you don't get discouraged by redirects and pitfalls, that you just trust those things and allow yourself to grow and think about things differently. And, and if you're pursuing a career in music, I just tell you, it's a marathon, not a sprint, it's who can run the longest without benching themselves, and that's probably true in anything in life. It just stay in the race. It's okay if you're not running as fast as somebody. It's okay if somebody got a head start, which you'll find a lot of people get a head start. You don't understand, right, why they did, but they did. But it's not about that. You're running your own race. So just one foot in front of the other. Sometimes you got to walk a little. You're exhausted, but stay in line. Stay in the race, whatever it is that you're going after, and be flexible. Be flexible. This year has really required that of all of us, to just be flexible. So I'm working on that myself.
And that's very important as well, too, including yours truly. Once again, singer, songwriter, multi-talented Hannah Anders from Georgia, LA to Nashville here on the Mike Wagner Show. Hannah, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us updated. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And before we go, once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or listen to your music?
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you, Mike, so much for having me. I really enjoyed chatting with you and feeling like a little bit of normal in the middle of this year. You can find me online, hannahanders.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube at Hannah Anders Music. You can find all of my music under Hannah Anders everywhere you download and stream, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, etc. I run my own social media, so if you reach out, say hello, it's me. I will respond, try to respond to everybody, and I would love to hear from you.
We certainly will do that. Once again, Hannah, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely great. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to stay in touch. And let's do it again. Turn it up. Get on a lazy river and be on that Dodge Ram.
Would love that. I would love that. Thank you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based upon a real-life relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamosinzia.com and www.amazon.com/miamosinzia.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.